Before it was torn apart, S.H.I.E.L.D. was a lot of moving parts. But guys like you were the heart. Now, you'll be the head.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the supporting characters across the Marvel Cinematic Universe who won our hearts. Keep in mind, we will be including characters who would go on to have much greater presences in the MCU later on, so long as they started on the sidelines. Also, be on the lookout for spoilers ahead.
That fancy raspberry filling represents the company's red, and we're days away from going out of business. Oh! Out of business.
Days away?
Damn, Coulson!
Number 10, The Ancient One.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know.
Before Doctor Strange entered the picture, this master of magic stood tall as the Sorcerer Supreme, defending reality from the threats of the Dark Dimension and beyond.
Measure your next words very carefully, Doctor.
Because you might not like them.
Because you may not know of what you speak.
While only having a few appearances outside of her debut flick, the Ancient One made a killer impression, not only due to the immensity of her sorcery, but her compassion as a mentor figure. She opened Stephen Strange's eyes to the truth of the universe, helped usher in his role as the Sorcerer Supreme, and despite being alive for centuries, has a tenderness and whimsy to her that made her wholly endearing.
I'm looking for Dr. Strange.
You're about 5 years too early. Stephen Strange is currently performing surgery about 20 blocks that way. What do you want from him?
Number 9, May Parker. Peter Parker's beloved Aunt May has been a constant in the wall crawler's life, from comics to television and, of course, his cinematic outings.
Sending them home, that's the best thing that we can do for them.
For them? Or for yourself? Look around you. This is what we do. We help people.
This latest iteration, despite being younger and apparently one of the most sought-after single ladies in Queens, constantly proved herself as Peter's anchor, instilling in him the morals and courage needed to make the right decisions. The best example of this can be seen in No Way Home, where contrary to tradition, she recites the famous "with great power" speech as opposed to Uncle Ben.
You have a gift. You have power. And with great power, there must also come great responsibility.
It's no surprise that her death hit all of us so hard. In many ways, she's the one responsible for helping Peter become the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all know and love. The kind who knows the full weight of both tragedy and responsibility.
Nothing happened. You're okay. You're okay.
Number 8, Phil Coulson. From serving as the MCU's introduction to S.H.I.E.L.D. to leading his own squad, Coulson was perhaps one of the earliest examples of a side character who earned the intrigue and appreciation of fans. After being stabbed by Loki in the first Avengers movie, you'd think it would be the end of Coulson's career in the MCU.
Eyes on me.
Oh, I'm clocked out here.
Not an option.
That is, until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came along, where Coulson was revealed to be alive and well.
Agent Coulson was killed in action before the battle in New York. Got the full report.
Welcome to Level 7.
While the series may have been a tad divisive, Coulson remained a captivating lead as he took on threats from the wider Marvel canon with a gentlemanly swagger.
It was a break glass in case of emergency situation.
Yes, but that emergency was supposed to be the fall of an Avenger.
Exactly.
Number 7, Happy Hogan. Everyone deserves someone like Happy in their life.
Sunday nights PBS, Downton Abbey. That's a show. He thinks it's elegant.
Acting as a confidant to Tony Stark and a friend to Peter Parker, Happy Hogan has been a source of comfort and comedy throughout several MCU flicks.
I'm gonna get you all the cheeseburgers you want.
While having no real powers aside from a mean right hook, some mad driving skills, and serving as a brief love interest to May Parker, Happy always came through, even in the toughest times. He even managed to give Deadpool, of all people, some amazing life lessons.
You just said moments ago that you wanted to be an Avenger because you need it.
Yes, sir, I do.
But the Avengers don't do the job because they need it. They do the job because people need them. Do you see the distinction?
Number 6, Corg.
My name is Corg. I'm kind of like the leader in here. I'm made of rocks, as you can see, but don't let that intimidate you. You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors. Just a little rock, paper, scissors joke for you.
There's plenty to love about Thor Ragnarok, though one of its greatest strengths can be found in this now iconic rock monster. Brought to life by director Taika Waititi, Corg is the perfect blend of absurdism, rock puns, and tremendous heart.
Piss off, Ghost! He's freaking gone.
When he's not stealing scenes and letting off zingers, he's right on the front line helping Thor take on threats from beyond the galaxy's rim or the depths of the underworld.
I'm looking for Corg.
Who's asking? I know you're asking. Is there anyone else asking, or is it just you?
Apparently, all you need to become a cultural icon is to make a few rock, paper, scissors jokes, have an eternally sunny disposition, and a gentle New Zealand accent. Who would have guessed? Number 5, Mbaku. Aside from having vast quantities of vibranium and one of the MCU's richest cultures, Wakanda proved time and time again to be the home of some of its most compelling characters.
Your Highness, the new king is a U.S. The new king.
Mbaku among them. Originally antagonistic to T'Challa, the leader of the Jabari tribe soon proved himself to be one of the throne's most stalwart allies.
You cannot talk! One more word, and I will feed you to my children. I'm kidding, we are vegetarians.
Oh, rest assured, he'll still rip you apart if you cross him. But his loyalty to Wakanda and especially to T'Challa is unquestionable. Doesn't matter if he's facing armies from space or the sea. Mbaku's not going down without a fight, especially when he unleashes that chant of his. Number 4, Luis.
Thanks for picking me up, brother.
Well, you think I'm gonna miss my celly getting out?
The MCU is home to a lot of comedic sidekicks, but all pale in comparison to Luis. Despite a somewhat shady past that landed him in prison, Luis is a stand-up guy willing to do whatever it takes to help his buddy Scott out, even if it involves breaking the law again. Of course, Luis's most defining trait, the one that never fails to make us laugh, are his monologues.
And here comes the good part. Carlos says, yo, man, this guy's got a big-ass safe just sitting in the basement, just chilling. Of course, Ernesto comes to me because he knows I got mad thieving skill.
Rapid fire, prone to tangents, and always accompanied by slick background music, these recaps knock us down every time, turning exposition into entertainment. Ask anyone, and they'll tell you half the reason Ant-Man 3 failed was due to a severe lack of Luis.
Because when I first met Scotty, he was in a bad place. And I'm not talking about Cell Block D. His wife had just filed for divorce. And I was like, damn, homie, she dumped it when you're on lockup? And he was like, yeah, I know, I thought I was gonna be with her forever. But now I'm all alone. And I was like, damn, homie, you know what? You gotta chin up, because you'll find a new partner. But you know what? I'm Luis. And he says, you know what? I'm Scotty, and we're gonna be best friends.
Okay, hold on.
Number 3, Okoye.
When you said we were going to open Wakanda to the rest of the world, this is not what I imagined.
And what did you imagine?
The Olympics?
There are Wakandan warriors, and then there's Okoye. As the leader of the Dora Milaje, Okoye is a general of fierce renown, acting as both a bodyguard to the royal family as well as a trusted friend to T'Challa. Disciplined, decisive, and deadly, you put a spear in her hands, and there are few who can stand against her.
You are not fit to be a king!
What might be most impressive about her character, however, is just how much respect she commands. Even when surrounded by Avengers, her word carries weight, to the extent that in times where the throne happens to be empty, you can count on Okoye to ensure Wakanda's safety.
Take another step closer, and I'll kill you all.
Number 2, Wong.
And you are? Wong. Just Wong?
Doctor Strange isn't the only adept sorcerer teleporting around the MCU. You've also got Wong, a skilled spellcaster whose knowledge was instrumental in molding Strange from a mere student into a master.
My name is Wong. Yeah, I know, sir. I'm a huge fan.
Do you have the rings?
There's so much to love about Wong, it's borderline ridiculous. He spits wisdom like few can, he can more than hold his own in the fight, is often the voice of reason in the room, and he's also low-key hilarious. Every time he struts onto the scene via a magical gateway, chances are there's danger afoot, but at least you know you're in for a great time. Wongers just doesn't miss.
Is that everyone? But you wanted more?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Peggy Carter. Few MCU characters have as much fanfare as Agent Carter, and with good reason.
Gentlemen, I'm Agent Carter. I supervise all operations for this division.
Peggy is a beast. Her romance with Steve Rogers is one of the purest you'll ever see in a superhero movie. But she's also far from a damsel in distress. Throughout her solo series, she demonstrated immense skill in both combat and espionage, all before going on to assist in the creation of S.H.I.E.L.D.
These men you call your colleagues, they don't respect you. They don't even see you. Do you honestly expect they'll change their minds?
I expect I will make them.
With a resume like that, she'd be guaranteed a place on this list regardless. But then we saw her take on the mantle of Captain Carter during the events of What If, where she cemented herself as one of the MCU's all-time greats.
You go!
What would Cap say if I left his best girl behind?
He would say, do as Peggy says.
Which MCU character do you think doesn't get enough love? Let us know in the comments down below.
Thank you for the coffee, man. It's not too often that you rob a place and they get welcome back. Because we just robbed you.